up on Instagram. There's a lot of great tidbits. Let's just start with, you had thrown out there, planning is essential for, I think, probably in life, but in business as well.
Yeah, and you know what? The biggest lesson that I have, the biggest message I have for people out there today, I think, this is a hard time for everyone, and no one is left unscathed. Everyone is going to receive a little road rash from this, and I haven't met anyone who has not. But here's the important message, that there's never been a time in our life, and think about it, Jim. We were around in the dot-com bubble burst in early 2000. We saw the financial crisis in 2008, which hit the housing and financial market, and now the Corona-19. So, out of all the things we've had, we'll probably never in our lifetime experience another catastrophic event like what we're experiencing right now. Never before have we had so many people quarantined at home. So you can do one of two things. You can sit at home and you can just try to fill up the day by watching TV and Netflix, and you look at yourself in the mirror at 2 PM, you're still in your pajamas. And my recommendation to everyone is, look, this is a great time to reflect and to reset. And I talk to business owners and your business life and your personal life. And I said it earlier, dial it back to zero. So you got to figure out, where am I spending my money? And from the business owners, what are all of my outflows? And it's really a cleansing experience to go back through all of your personal expenses, all of your business expenses, and say, what am I spending money on? And requalify it. Because it's so easy for us to get caught up in this habitual spending. Yeah. So that's number one, making ourselves being financially accountable. The second part of it is say, look, how am I showing up in my life? What is my spiritual balance? What does my walk with God look like? Number one, how am I around my family? Am I being the right role model for my family and my friends? So just doing that self analysis, checking, and then what am I doing for my physical being? You know what? If you've never exercised a day in your life, now is the time. Do it in your home, but get started, make a move. And I think that the shame here, Jim, would be if you come out of the coronavirus, if you come out of this the same person as you went into it, I think you've missed a huge opportunity, personally.
Yeah, I so agree with you. And I understand. I'm a competitive athlete, and I'm a daily trainer. I understand the challenges for people that have never exercised and are casual exercisers, how hard it is to motivate and get going in this environment. But it is so critical. I get up and get dressed every morning. I put on a nice outfit. I comb my hair. I shave, the whole bit, and get ready for a day's worth of work. Now, I'm only walking upstairs into my home office, but I think that if we can get ourselves ready and go through those normal routines, it'll put us in a better mindset to go after and attack some of the things you're talking about.
Yeah, I think it's important. You know what? Even to your point, Jim. You know what? And it says a lot about you. I start my day. I have a to-do list that I've been doing since 7th grade. Every day I have a to-do list of things that I want to knock out, and because it keeps me on track, it keeps me accountable, and whatever I don't finish, I put it forward to the next day. And if it's sitting there 4 or 5 days from now, then I do a serious look at it and I say, how important is that? Because I'm not afraid to delete things, because clearly it's not a material challenge or material project that I need to do. So that's number one. But getting up every day with purpose, doing whatever you want to do, whether it's grab a quick workout, you do meditate, whatever your jam is, but get in the shower and be prepared to do something for the day. Even just getting the shower and cleaning up gives you a different perspective on how the day is going to be. So I'm a big advocate for it.
It's interesting you say it that way, and you talk a lot about working with your hands. My wife and I did a little yard work in the middle of the day yesterday. You get through that mid-afternoon slump of working, and most of the time we'll all grab a cup of coffee or some caffeine. We walked out to the pasture there, and we did a little yard work, and we came back invigorated to hit the actual work back inside. I thought, how great it is that I can afford to go outside and get my hands dirty and give myself a recharge. And I think we all need to search for ways that we can recharge our souls, whether that's early in the day, middle of the day, or at the end of the day, to be excited about the life that we're living.
Absolutely. And another point that I would like to make about Corona-19 is the isolation component. And it's really affecting the elderly, the older population, because they are right in the sweet spot of who this has a very detrimental effect, or can potentially have a detrimental effect. So for those of us that have the elderly parents and family members, make a point to reach out to them, because they're feeling isolated today more than ever.
That's a really good point. I've spoken to my mom. We live several states away, more in the last couple of weeks than I have in the last couple of years. But as you say that, I realize it's probably not enough, because they are isolated. And with my mom and my grandparents, I'm sending them food through Instacart so they don't have to get outside, because neither one of them know how to go on. They're from a different generation. They don't go online to buy stuff. But you're right. The phone calls, right, the FaceTimes are so important. We can't do that enough, because they are isolated. And, we had a guest on last week that talked about what you're putting into your mind and your body, meaning the TV shows we're watching, or how much news we're watching, or what we're listening to, music-wise, and what we're putting into our bodies positive. If you think about those parents and those grandparents locked up, they're probably just watching news and just becoming more and more afraid of what's happening out there.
No, for sure. It's depending which news channel you watch. I mean, and I think, the media here has ran with this thing. My gosh. And, if anyone needs to probably do a little social distancing, it's probably our media, because they took this pandemic. They took this pandemic and they literally had everybody completely freaked out. And, it clearly, it's better to be safe than sorry, but the panic that they put across this country, how some people, they thought it's Armageddon, and it's been sad, and we've lost a lot of lives, but we lose more lives to the flu, the seasonal flu, than what we've experienced here, and it's just not even close. So we need to look at the analytics, and everybody take a deep breath. And I know that this was scary, but we lose more people to obesity, heart attacks, car accidents, the common flu that comes through here every season. It comes through. So we just need to be, I guess, just common sense. Exercise a little common sense, and we'll all get through this, I think, much easier. I hope, anyway.
Yeah, well, those are great thoughts. Hey, just skipping back to fitness as we wrap this thing up. You have Fitness on Demand. I haven't dug into that yet, but I'm assuming that that's an online program where we can watch and be fit at home.
Yeah, what that is we have them in a lot of the different Marriott hotels, a lot of different gyms around the country. I've got roughly 3,500 locations of that product. Mm-hmm. And that is, if you go into a Marriott, there's a kiosk there. You push a button and a screen, and you might get Jillian Michaels, everything from Zumba to a functional training workout. So it's available there. It's available through an online app and through the website as well. There's just a lot of that type of product out there. There's a lot of exercise options today for people. So to really say that you can't find it, you just got to dig a little harder, or ask yourself, are you really digging?
Well, and I got to say, within the exercise community as a whole, on my Instagram feed, because I follow a lot of athletes, people have gotten extremely clever as to what they can use to work out with. We used to laugh when we were kids, picking up the milk jug because it weighed X amount. It was good to curl with. The things I've seen out there that people are exercising with, there is zero excuses right now for not at least trying to get a little bit healthier.
It's so true. I refer to my workout as the GLSL workout. It's literally push-ups and abs and doing dips with a chair. I mean, you get creative, because the gym in my building here is closed. All the parks are closed. All the health clubs and everything are closed. So you're either going to embrace it and get creative, or you're going to sit around and atrophy, which is not the answer.
No, you're right. Peter, I want to thank you for your time. Yeah. I really appreciate it. I've got two quotes. I'm struggling between which one I like more that I pulled from you. One is, hard work works. And then the other one is, look straight ahead with great hope. And I think they both apply to all of us that are listening today. So thank you for sharing that on your Instagram feed. which is Peter_Taunton. So if you're not following Peter yet, please do so after the show. Peter, any last thoughts as we close this thing up?
No, Jim, just, everybody be safe and let's all respect that social distancing and we'll get through this together. I think we're going to come out the other side, a changed country, but a country that's better positioned moving forward.
I love hearing that. Thank you again. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks, brother. It's been my pleasure and I'm happy to come on anytime you would like. Take care.
Thanks. Thank you for listening to today's show. It is my pleasure and honor to interview all of the guests that have been on the Answer is Yes podcast. If you have enjoyed the show, please go on iTunes and subscribe, give a rating, or simply tell a friend about the show. We also believe in the message of our guests and the positive influence of their stories. As my own mentor and coach, David Meltzer, has taught me, spend some time every day thinking and writing about the things in your own life that you have more than enough of. You will find out how blessed we really are. Please visit my website, livelifedriven.com, for the latest updates about me and what I'm doing. Plus, I post a monthly blog about the many topics on this show. This podcast can also be found there. As I learned early on in life, what you believe is what you will achieve. Thanks, Mark Victor Hansen, and thank you, and have a great week.